Sean O'Malley is an absolute nightmare matchup for a guy like Merab Dvalishvili. Now, guys, Sean O'Malley has recently just announced on his social media that his next opponent will be, in fact, Merab Dvalishvili. And the narrative surrounding this fight, before it's even happened, people have been talking about this for an extended period of time, is the fact that Merab Dvalishvili is a nightmare for Sean O'Malley, which I kind of agree in terms of the cardio, the pace, the wrestling, the pressure. But if we look at the Sean O'Malley that we've seen in the past two fights, I actually think Sean O'Malley can make this look really easy against Merab Dvalishvili. Now, I want to point out that Merab does possess some unique skills that can absolutely cause problems for anybody. But in Merab's last outing against Henry Cejudo, he lost that round in my opinion. I thought Henry Cejudo was tagging him with some good shots, actually rattled him a little bit. What do you think Merab Dvalishvili is going to do when Sean O'Malley is dancing around on the outside, evening up when Merab tries to close him down, squaring his hips up and darting from left to right? Merab tries to close the distance and Sean just goes, ole, and just dips out of the way, circles out, and restart that all over again. I just don't see Merab Dvalishvili going in there against a healthy Sean O'Malley and having any success at all. I think Merab Dvalishvili's striking is nowhere near Sean O'Malley, which we know, which in all fairness, Sean O'Malley, in my opinion, is probably he's definitely a top 5 striker in the UFC at this point. But from what we've seen from O'Malley, Aljamain Sterling is more dangerous when he gets his hands on you than Merab is. And I understand that Merab has a relentless pace. He has relentless cardio. Yes, he's strong, picking up Henry Cejudo, taking him across the cage and dumping him on his head. Like, I get all of those things. I think Sean O'Malley flatline KOs Merab Dvalishvili. And I'm going to go on the record saying that, and I'm going to leave this, I'm just leaving it out there for you. Because from what we've seen from O'Malley in terms of his distance management, his control, the way that Sean fights is just a real problem for a guy like Merab, man. Like, Henry Cejudo was there to engage with Merab. Petr Yan is a guy that likes to fight on the inside. He likes to move forward. He likes to control the center, which plays right into the hands of Merab Dvalishvili. And everyone tends to forget the past of Merab. Like, I understand that guys improve. They do get better. And I don't dislike Merab. I think Merab's hilarious. I've seen him on social media. I've liked the recent collaboration between him and Paulo Costa. I think Merab has a very unique skill set, and there's no doubt about it. The man's different when it comes to the endurance and the cardio. But Sean O'Malley is just a problem. I just think that this is a horrible stylistic matchup for Merab. And I know that everyone keeps saying, well, Merab's just going to, what's he going to do? I don't understand. You just think that he's just going to run across the cage and grab a hold of Sean O'Malley? It's going to be a catch me if you can. And when Merab does try to close the distance, Sean's just going to slide back and catch him with stuff. And every time Merab tries to close the distance, boom, he's going to get stabbed right in the gut with a nasty front kick. And as he starts to get frustrated and as he starts to kind of close the distance, Sean O'Malley's just going to slide right out of the way and let that right hand go. And we saw against Aljamain Sterling. This idea that I have here is not because of what Sean O'Malley did to Aljamain Sterling. It's the improvements that we have seen from Sean. And I understand that Marlon Chito Vera is not Merab. He's not a grappler. That's not where I'm referencing, those types of information. I'm referencing off of the footwork and the improvements that we have seen in the movement of Sean O'Malley is just going to be a real problem for Merab. Now, that's not to say that Merab can't, take this into the later rounds and get a hold of Sean and dump him on his back and kind of play that whole game. But people are going to be surprised by how good the grappling of Sean O'Malley is. And I've been saying this for a long time. Sean O'Malley's a guy that does some jiu-jitsu tournaments and a lot of these different things. He is very underrated grappling that he can lean on if he needs to. Now, Merab absolutely is the better wrestler. There's no question that Merab has the better gas tank. He has the better wrestling skills. But in terms of the striking, this is one of those matchups where Merab does have good pace. He does have good pressure. He does have good wrestling abilities. But Sean O'Malley is just way, way, way too fast for a guy like Merab. And I see everyone saying, look what he did to Petr Yan. Look what he did to Henry Cejudo. Guys, those are short guys who fight on the inside. That's what they do. Henry Cejudo's a wrestler who thinks he's a striker, who does have pretty good fight IQ, but we saw the success he had in the first round. If that's Sean O'Malley, Merab is getting knocked out. Like if the roles were reversed, he's getting knocked out. And Merab, yes, his striking has gotten better. Yes, he does do some crazy things and he does have decent power. But Sean O'Malley's just going to be looking at him when he's throwing punches like, this is all you got? And I understand the grappling element, right? That's definitely something to factor in. But if we look at the way Sean O'Malley performed against Aljamain Sterling, because Aljo has kind of been big brother to Merab for a while, right? In terms of, the way things have played out. And that's why, allegedly why Aljo left the division to give Merab his opportunity. But from what we saw from O'Malley in that fight with Aljo, he was sensational. He was incredible. And I understand that they made Aljamain Sterling cut weight and turn around on a rather quick notice and all those different things, which of course was all to play into the advantage of Sean O'Malley. Like we all know that. We all can see what was going on there. But at the end of the day, guys, Merab is really talented, but he is not better than Sean O'Malley. And in my opinion, his skill set that he presents to Sean O'Malley is not enough. Like, to me, when we look at guys who can potentially cause some problems for Sean O'Malley, we're looking at guys like a Corey Sandhagen, who's long and rangy, who does have pretty decent striking, who does have really high fight IQ, who has some nasty submissions. Like, when we look around the bantamweight division, there's a lot of talent, and I am giving Merab his due, man. This is not to diss on Merab Dvalishvili, because I really like Merab. I think he's hilarious, like I said, but his style, in my opinion, is just not, it's not very troubling for Sean O'Malley. Like, I know that Tim Welch, Sean O'Malley's coach, had recently came out and said, a matchup with Merab is definitely a challenge. It's something that, with his cardio, his endurance, it's someone we're taking very serious, which absolutely, you have to take any contender seriously, especially at bantamweight. In my opinion, it's the best division in the UFC right now. But I just don't see what everyone else is seeing when it comes to this matchup. Like, I just see this being a game of cat and mouse where Merab is trying to, especially if this is not in the Apex. This isn't going to be in a damn Apex. They're going to give Sean O'Malley every advantage they can, the UFC will. This will be in the big cage, and you'll just see what you saw in a Chito Vera Aljamain Sterling matchup. Like, to try and chase Sean O'Malley down is a whole game in and itself. And Aljamain Sterling, who has the better striking, Aljo or Merab? Feel free to comment below. Maybe you could say Merab. His technique's a little bit tighter, but Aljamain Sterling has better kicks. He's longer, he's bigger, he's rangier, and he definitely is more of a submission threat than Merab. I feel like we can all agree on that. If you disagree, then feel free to comment on that too. But I absolutely think that Aljamain Sterling is more threatening than Merab. The concern with Merab is the pace and the pressure. And yes, those calf kicks that he was landing on Petr Yan were nasty. But this narrative that everyone just keeps rolling with, well, look what he did to Petr Yan, and Yan and O'Malley fought, what was a robbery, and O'Malley lost, and all these different things, guys. Styles make fights, and we have seen what happens. Let's take an example for you, and I know it's a little bit different. Look at Izzy and Marvin Vettori, right? Marvin Vettori is kind of this big, strong, brute guy who's known for, his grappling. And I know Marvin Vettori is not a world beater. I'm not saying he's Merab. I'm just using something for some comparison. And you see how he has to chase Israel Adesanya down. You see the dynamic there. And according to the weight classes, Sean O'Malley has one-shot knockout power at bantamweight, man. Like, he is nasty. Like, people are not... Like, I understand Sean O'Malley went out there and Marlon Chito Vera kind of had an undeserved title shot. Like, as much as I like Chito, that was an undeserved title shot. We know why he had the opportunity, because he was the only guy to hold a win over O'Malley. He goes out there and gets absolutely, make no mistake about it, that was a one-sided massacre, guys. Sean O'Malley dismantled Marlon Chito Vera. And he basically did the same thing to Aljamain Sterling. And the rumor has it, well, not really rumor, but Sean O'Malley was on the record saying, I didn't get to grapple for weeks leading up to that title shot against Aljamain Sterling. And look how good he defended the takedowns against Aljo. And Aljo is a guy that likes to take your back and has much better jiu-jitsu than Merab. So if we're looking at this and we're really getting into the kind of the nitty-gritty of this matchup in terms of the technicalities, please enlighten me on how you think Merab beat Sean O'Malley. I would love to know, because I was sitting there watching back that Merab Dvalishvili Henry Cejudo fight, Merab versus Petr Yan, and I just watched Sean O'Malley's last two fights. I absolutely think that Sean O'Malley makes this look easy. I really do. And maybe that's a little crazy to say. Maybe that's a little unfair. And again, it is no disrespect to Merab, because I think he seems like a great guy. He's hilarious. I love the effort that he's making on social media. He realizes his fighting style is not very entertaining, and he's trying to, bring in the fan base, and he has done that. And I like Merab. And I do think that he could be a champion at some point. This is one of those things where styles makes fight, guys. Styles make fights, and I think Sean O'Malley is the nightmare matchup for Merab Dvalishvili opposed to the other way around. But I want to hear what you all think down in the comments. Like this video, comment who you think would win this matchup between Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili. Do you agree with me? And if you have not already, please consider subscribing to the channel and help your boy out. I appreciate you all. See you next time.